It's recording.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of the BCW podcast. We're entitling it Bids for Business. I'm your co-host, Tread, and with me, as always, is my other co-host, Eric Devine, Pav Novak.
Well, I think the first thing we got to get down to today is I've heard a little bit of talks about us possibly getting a new competitor on the roster, and seeing as this one's over here.
This one? You mean your boss?
Her name's Benz, by the way.
Axel.
The one that signs your checks, yes.
Sadly. Anyway, so this new recruit, can you tell us a little bit what we might be expecting? Because I know you mentioned you've seen some footage, but I hadn't.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
opportunity.
the footage that I've seen, dude seems like he's a bomb. He's going to be like the biggest jobber in the BCW next to Landon Payne.
I mean, that's a hard point to argue, but...
So
I think it's really quite sad that I sent every member of the roster footage of Disarray, and you didn't take time out of your schedule to watch it.
Listen, when I see an email pop up, when I'm in between Pornhub and RedTube, and it says Ben Smack Woman, the only thing I can think to myself is, who the fuck is Ben Smack Woman? Like, who writes this shit? What kind of name is that? No, but seriously, can you give us some intel on
What kind of name is that? Divine? Okay.
It's Novak, but we're just going to
Like,
leave it at that.
it matters.
Vintage Divine?
Well, Chad, you're the one that saw the videos. Why don't you enlighten us?
I just told you what I thought.
He was a bum.
He's a bomb. He's a jobber. I really don't think he's gonna cut the mustard, if you know what I mean.
Well,
He can't hang with the big dogs.
As long as he doesn't cut the cheese.
Yeah. Well.
You know what? All you need to know is
Let me ask you one question, Vince. Why are you going out there trying to find new recruits when you have the greatest damn roster in professional wrestling under your domain?
First of all, don't ever tell me how to do my job. And if I
I
want to
was
bring in
asking.
new people, I'm going to bring in new people because that's what the BCW fans deserve.
I'm not here for any beef. I was just asking the tough questions.
Well, I didn't like your tone.
I apologize.
I thought your tone was spot on.
Oh.
I was really feeling a dog.
Yeah. All right.
But I felt the BCW needed a little shaken up. Which, if you don't mind, I would like to make yet another announcement. In regards to the Lord of Anarchy title matches, they will no longer be last man standing matches.
You can't just change the rules like that. I don't care if you're the owner or not. It's my title.
I'm pretty sure I can, and I'm going to. What's now going to happen is every 3 months, there's going to be a new stipulation.
Listen.
We're going to make it a little more exciting around here.
All I'm saying is if you have to defend that title in a bra and panties match,
I'm on it.
it's going to be the first 5-star match you were ever in.
It's going to be probably the only 5-star match in the BCW history.
Quote.
It's just embarrassing. Like, we come on here to talk about BCW and you just turn it about you. Like, anybody cares about you.
You're right. One thing I can finally agree with you on. Let's swerve a little bit here. On the road to Grand Slam, let's take a little roadblock, a speed bump if you will, to talk about what are your thoughts on Pav Novak returning to Backyard Championship Wrestling?
I think it's the biggest travesty that has ever happened in the entire history of professional wrestling.
You mean
Listen,
besides the name Vince McWoman?
Don't let me burst a little bubble there, but he is your current television champion.
Not for long.
Spoiler?
I mean,
Maybe. The longer you have that title, the more tarnish it's going to get on it. And I can't let that happen.
I mean,
How do you tarnish plastic? I just want to know that.
I mean, the only thing worse would be if Landon had it. I mean, it's the only possible worst scenario.
I mean, he did take the belt off of Dos Pesos. Come on. That's just a glorified hitman from Mexico who can't even speak Spanish.
Who writes this shit?
It's pretty a little salty that Dos Pesos beats you up every time.
Does anybody really beat Chart up?
Exactly. If Dos Pesos was going to beat me up and claim that she beat me up the way that she did, being a glorified hitman from Mexico, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be your current Lord of Anarchy champion.
I just feel like the only way Dos Pesos could beat anybody up is with a Taco Bell 2-for-1 gift card.
You know what? I really don't like you, but that was fucking awesome. Props to you, sir. Props to you.
It's about time he's actually entertaining.
Alright, so what other current events can we be speaking about today?
What are your, looking into the future? Looking past Grand Slam, so to say. What's your vision for the BCW?
Well, I see Disarray doing amazing things in the future.
Look at that jobber.
I see you, Tread, the only decent champion we have. You, well, we'll get rid of you eventually, and I hope to find out who Landon Payne actually is, because I hear his name a lot, but that doesn't ring any bells. I can see his face, like, I don't know. So that's personally what I'm going to do in the future.
Well, here's my thing.
Maybe get Dos Pesos a raise. Maybe make her Trace Pesos. We'll see.
I know you have respect for me. I have respect for you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've gone behind your back. I've been training superstars behind your back. I've been trying to take superstars under my wing, showing them what I know. Not everything I know, but a little bit at a time what I know.
Well, that's what a veteran does. And that's what a leader of a locker room does, which is why you are a great champion.
Well,
and you're just wasting time.
Someone's got to be a leader around here.
Listen, we're trying to do this podcast. Just let it go for right now.
Mm-hmm.
She was nice enough to be our guest. Just let it go. Try to be professional. Don't bring business into this.
But this is what's Vince for business.
Yeah, I understand the name of the title, but just ask her questions so she can go and we can just continue our thing.
Because some of us actually have important things to do.
Shopping at Taco Bell with Dos Pesos does not count as important things to do.
I didn't realize there was a Dalton Castle match on today.
There's a Dalton Castle match on every day. Or at least there should be.
I'd rather watch old Eric Devine videos than Dalton Castle.
So is this what we're doing here now?
I'd rather watch Landon Payne sell a stunner. Cut and print.
Is this what we're doing here, watching you two form a bromance? Like, I thought we were talking about BCW.
I mean,
like,
we
is
can talk about whatever.
Is that what we're doing here now?
What would you like to talk about, sir?
Talk about some cough syrup over there, Little Wayne.
Yeah. I get wheezy. What do you see this disarray doing for our company?
Amazing things. Entertaining the fan base. Make the fan base happy. Basically, just different versions of that. I mean,
well, that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. We don't need another one like me.
What, poor excuse for a hardcore icon?
Well, I figured I'd save your back a little, Trent, because I know you're carrying this company.
I mean, I appreciate that, but until I can actually see what this kid can do in person, outside of videos that gets emailed to me at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning.
You're on Vince's schedule, never forget that. So, if Vince decides to email you at 2 in the morning,
Listen,
you be grateful.
all I'm saying is, bring this kid up here. Don't just show us videos. Bring him here to prove that he could be one of the best. Put him in a match with the best in this business.
So that'd be Dos Pesos.
No.
There's no taco contests in the BCW.
This ain't no nacho eating contest either.
So I have a message for Dos Pesos. Not only have I never in my life seen a poor television champion, I've never seen such a poor competitor. And that's coming from somebody that works with Landon Payne pretty much every other show.
You know what's really funny about that? She claims to be trained by the best in Mexico, and all this bitch does is punch and kicks. What'd she do, learn from a Mexican baby?
I'm pretty sure those punches and kicks were enough to take the title off you at one time. I'm pretty sure her first title reign was at your expense and at your defeat.
I believe it was not. It was at Landon Payne's expense and defeat.
I don't
Look it up in the record books. She defeated Landon Payne when she crushed him in the head with a fucking taco shell.
Listen, you're talking about the owner over here that doesn't even know the
half the roster?
Yeah, well, like, what are we talking about here?
I only concern myself with things that matter.
If talking about Dos Pesos really matters, she does not matter in this conversation.
What does matter in this conversation is one thing and one thing only. What is next for Pav Novak?
I would assume like 3 more name changes, a few shitty gimmicks, bitching about how he can't win clean or lose clean, whatever. I mean, that's pretty much all you do.
Speaking of Pav Novak.
Here we go.
Considering he's the only one that ever talks about Pav Novak, but yes.
During our last show, when Puppet Master unmasked, and we did find out that it was really Pav Novak under that mask.
Shitty gimmick. Yes.
What was going through your head at that point in time? Knowing that the biggest thorn in your side, when you thought he was really gone, has returned back to your company. Not only came back for one match, he came back to win the second most prestigious title in the BCW, the television title.
Look, I respect what you're trying to do. You're stirring the pot, trying to get some controversy going.
I'm just asking the tough questions. That's all I'm doing. Like, the world already knows you don't like Pav Novak. But what were your exact thoughts, knowing that he is now your television champion?
Well, quite frankly, it pissed me off.
Oh.
I, as Vince, laid down a decree that you were gone. And then you came around, put on a stupid mask, drug half the roster, and then think you can just do whatever you want. Well, that's not how it works.
Listen. Nobody puts Novak in the corner. For starters. But what my question is, why are you still signing my paychecks when I don't even have a contract? Because it's what's Ben's for business.
Because I fully plan to completely get rid of you. And I can't do that with you sitting on your couch, jerking off to Black Veil Brides videos. I need you here where I can take you out.
And how exactly do you plan on taking me out?
Don't you worry about
that's
it.
right. Those pesos hooked her up with them 2-for-1 Taco Bell coupons. Cheap pop.
I'm sorry. I don't think you have to worry about those pesos. I think it's me you have to worry about. I am the one who ended your career last time, and I'm damn sure can do it again.
I bet you could, considering that you sell like the Big Show.
Touche.
You're gonna let a kid that's a bigger spot whore than Paul Chasko talk shit on you right now? Is that what's happening right now?
Dude, don't slaughter it. Keep your head in the game. She's trying to throw you off.
Listen, it is what it is. And when the time comes down to it, not only will I put my title on the line, I will put my career on the line to prove, once again, that I am the most dominant wrestler in the BCW. Hands down, left and right, back and forth.
Left, right, down, up, A, B, B, A.
That's the blood code for Mortal Kombat, and we ain't talking about that.
Figured we would be with your affection for blading.
Hey, you leave it alone.
I will not.
Just leave it alone.
I will not.
While we're on the topic, I wanted to personally get on record. Who did you look up to when starting a career and trying to maintain this illusion that you're some kind of hardcore icon? So
you couldn't tell by the scrubs it was Stevie Richards?
It was neither one.
You couldn't tell that?
You can't just name drop Dr. Stevie in the BCW.
It was not Dr. Stevie. I had two idols growing up.
Abyss?
Nah, it was Raven and Ric Flair.
For what reasons?
Who are your idols?
I'm guessing Marty McFly based on that vest.
McFly!
Well, if you want to know, it was the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and RVD 420.
He idolizes...
So that's where his delusions come from.
He idolizes Shawn Michaels like somebody else I know who cannot be named during this podcast.
Or do a super kick ever.
I know you're not going to like this. I know this is bench for business.
Yes.
But I want to bring somebody in right now. I just have one question for him. If that's okay with you. It's just going to be one quick question, and then he can just scurry on.
Okay.
Do what he normally does. Landon, please come in here for a second.
Good, you can have my chair.
Bye.
How you doing? Welcome to the first ever podcast of the BCW, Bench for Business. Just one quick question for you. Who is your idols growing up?
Gold Dust.
I would have bet money that would have been the Big Boss Man.
He was my prison guard. Leave it alone.
So the rumors were true. You really did spend some time in Cell Block C.
Are you jealous?
I'm a little jealous. I heard Cell Block C's like, you know, the place to be. You need to do something with that. You're on national TV. You need to fix that or something.
I mean, this is why we need new people like Disray in here. You come on this podcast looking like that, disgracing BCW.
Who are you? I am the most relevant television champion the BCW has ever seen, and I will win that title back, come hell or high water.
You're not even the most relevant person named Landon in BCW.
I am the most relevant, and I remember beating Dos Pesos.
Then you take that up with Dos Pesos. What does that have to do with me?
She's your hired hitman, and I will beat her again.
Alright.
While we have you on here, I just got one question for you, and you can stand up if you like.
And leave whenever you like, I mean.
I don't listen to you.
What in the hell gives you the right to try to steal my spotlight when you were eliminated from a match 1, 2, 10?
Because
Clearly a child left behind.
you got lucky. And it'll never
No, it
happen
was last
again.
man
A
standing.
fluke is a fluke.
Stay classy, Landon.
Easter Sunday, everybody. Pav Novak, Landon Payne. You decide. While we're on the topic of title matches, is there anybody left, I mean, that isn't a champion, that is even in this man's league, in the BCW?
It's definitely Dos Pesos. And the lack of respect Dos Pesos is receiving is abominable. It's horrible.
I don't not respect her. I just think she's a horrible wrestler. And come March 27th, 2016, at Easter Brawl, I guess I'll just have to send Dos back to Mexico in the taco shell she rode up on.
I'm pretty sure that's never going to happen. I have all the confidence in the world in Dos Pesos.
So, I believe we have a match card on hand upcoming. So,
Did you not open up that email either?
Do you want to talk to us about the match card?
I
that you-
emailed the entire roster the match card.
Yeah, I know, but do you want to talk about it live on the BCW network?
Tread, isn't your suitcase over there? Didn't you print out the match card?
Yeah, I did. Hold on, let me.
Okay.
Wait, you got it for me?
Yeah.
Better check your bag, make sure you didn't steal anything. No, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I go through and I spend my time and energy to keep everybody in the BCW roster in the loop, and you can't even open an email because you think you're too important.
I have Windows. I have an excuse. And I have
If you were-
Cricket. So beat that.
Cricket.
So, what you're trying to tell me is, you're gonna let this jobber, what is it, Disarray?
Disarray or whatever.
Mhm.
You're gonna open a show with him and our Lord of Anarchy champion?
Yes. Because that's
But
Vince for business.
It's non-title though, so.
This kid's going to come in here and make an impact, and what better way to do that than to fight the best champion BCW has to offer? What? Can you think of a better debut? Possibly? No.
Alright, well here's an idea. Why not have him debut against someone more of his caliber? I mean, we did establish he's a jobber, right? Why not?
That was hinted at, but that's not confirmed, because it's not true.
Why not put him up against somebody lower on the totem pole, somebody without a title, somebody who has to take cheap shots and still cheap victories to get where they're at?
Dos Pesos?
No, I was actually thinking more on the lines of that Landon Payne. I mean, let's face it, anybody who has to take cheap shots at the end of every single show just to get their name in the spotlight.
Listen, I don't tell you how to cut yourself or wear guideliners, so don't tell me how to book matches. That's the match that I wanted to make. And that's the match that's going to happen.
Well, just to keep this impartial, since We know there's been none of that on your end over there.
Down the middle.
What I would like to do now is turn it over to you and let you talk about what I would consider one of the greatest main events in the history of BCW finally coming to a head. I want you to talk about Landon Payne versus Pav Novak for the greatest title in our industry, the television championship.
All I can say about that is that you got the up-and-coming Landon, who technically never lost his belt
No, you shouldn't have had to begin with.
in a singles match. Yes, he lost the belt when it was in a fatal four-way. And it was also elimination style to you, nonetheless, to you. So I'm actually glad that you're man enough to give him a rematch for the title. That shows a lot of respect on your end.
Well, if I don't, then you know he's just going to keep coming out and low blowing me and smacking me with DDTs left and right, or inserting himself into triple threat matches that were supposed to be one-on-one to begin with.
Yeah. So I think what's gonna happen is, not that I don't trust you, but more along the lines that I don't trust him. I'm gonna be out there for that match.
Okay. Now, when you say you're going to be out there, are you saying you're going to be in anyone in particular's corner, or are you throwing on the stripes? What's going on?
I can't relay that information.
Okay.
You're gonna let him like question your character?
He's not really questioning my character.
He absolutely was.
No, I don't think he
The
was.
disrespect coming from this kid is ridiculous.
Listen to fucking Darth Sidious over here. Strike me down, Anakin.
Are you throwing nerd bars at me? Like, I don't understand what's going on right now.
What are your future plans with Disarray and the BCW?
I hate to give you even the slightest bit of credit, but I do think you have a point with the Landon and Disarray idea. So I think the best way to do it, aside from the match that I've already booked, would be a best-of-5 series between Disarray and Landon Payne.
Can I spice it up a little bit? I like that idea, but can I spice it up just a little bit?
Why don't you tell me what you're thinking?
I'm thinking we have, if this is okay with you, I'm thinking we have that best-of-5 series.
Okay.
And the winner of that series would go on to get a Lord of Anarchy title shot.
I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense considering that they don't have the experience that you two have.
But the loser of that series gets a TV title shot.
So the night off, essentially.
And here's my idea.
Or do you want to switch it around a little bit?
I'm just going to throw my idea out there, and I know it's hard to remain impartial, but I'm going to leave it up to the boss to decide.
The boss.
What I'd like to see personally is these two legitimate contenders
That's a good word for him.
face off for my title and my title only, for one reason. If we already have Dos Pesos and Tread booked, why not just leave these two legitimate contenders
Jobbers. Oh.
to have what they think could be not only a show-stealing match, but possibly 5 of them for the only real legitimate title here in the BCW. And let's face it, you want the best of the best as your champions, correct?
He does have a point.
And the only true way to find out a legitimate contender is a best-of-5 series. So if you don't want me as champion as bad as you say you do...
Because I want legitimate champions in my company.
So you have them fight it out, become seasoned veterans of the game, and take on...
Like Tread.
And take on the true television champion. Let them earn the victory, the satisfaction of taking a title off of Pav Novak.
See,
Haven't we heard enough of you?
See, there's only one problem with that. I'm already fighting you for your title. And as far as I'm concerned, that title is coming home.
Open your fucking emails. Like, seriously.
The kid doesn't have internet. How do you want him to open his emails?
Stop defending him. That's
Well,
part of this problem.
He might as well defend me, because he sure as hell can't defeat me.
Listen, kid, I've defeated you up and down the East Coast.
Yeah, and how many...
As far west as St. Louis, Missouri. We have battled all over the United States of America, minus the West Coast. I think we've had thousands of matches with each other. And right now, we are pretty much tied in wins and losses. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. Just because you have a title and I have a title, yes, my title is ranked higher than your title. Yes, that makes me more hardcore than you. But when it comes down to brass tacks, grabbing that brass ring, going through the glass ceiling, I've done it way longer than you have, son.
How many metaphors are you gonna, like, string together?
Don't you fucking worry about it.
Like,
If I knew, I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway.
Like, this is disgusting to me. Like, the bromance is just out of control. Like, it's
not about
disgusting.
bromance.
It
It's
is.
about
Absolutely
professional
is.
respect. I have professional respect for Pav Novak.
Listen,
He is a hard worker. He knows his business in and out. He knows not to sandbag when you need to do the move properly. I mean, look at him. He sells better than the fucking crimson-chinned red man. Dolph Ziggler has nothing on this man.
That kid's barely a curtain jerker, and you're gonna compare him to Dolph Ziggler or the Crimson Chin. Like, what are you doing?
All I'm saying is my back is killing me from carrying this roster for so long.
Oh
and
my god.
Here we go.
You know, I'm just going to lay out...
Here we fucking go.
I was never beat clean. People say I look like Adam Lambert. Like, come on, just give it up. Like, quit bitching.
Listen, I'm laying out an open challenge right now. I want to see, at the next show, every single competitor give it their 150% all.
I would give 175%. Because that's what I do.
I'll give 200%.
Why don't we just throw this match card out of the way and just have a specified series between the two of us?
You guys think you're running the show here? Like...
I am the whole effing show. I don't know what they call you over there in Jobomania. But
the boss. The owner. The most powerful woman in BCW.
Are you the only woman in BCW?
Dos Pesos.
Has a gender ever been confirmed for that walking chalupa?
I actually heard it's Axel Rotten under a mask.
Do we have anything else we'd like to
See,
get
that's
to?
the problem with this element. His disrespect is starting to rub off on you.
Do you know what the problem with this element is?
Her?
No. this element.
That you guys aren't in a hotel room in Vermont? Is that the real problem here?
No, we should be in a hotel room in Canada.
Actually,
Where nobody would care?
I think I'd like to start a petition to have Grand Slam film live.
From
And-
Winnipeg?
No, let's just get it all done right in Calgary. Right in the fucking heart of it, man.
Moose Jaw?
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon.
My company will never be in Canada!
More reason to change the power to somebody else.
I'm not having this
All right,
great
all right,
company
all right,
have a
guys,
show
guys,
in that
guys,
suckhole of a country.
Guys, we have a podcast to do. What are your thoughts? Knowing what
Tell me I should take a show
knowing what
to
I've
Canada.
told
You go to Canada.
about disarray. I mean, were you able to upload that video? Because if not, I can send it to you of disarray in action.
Frankly, as far as this Disturbia goes, what I'm really looking forward to is getting to pin somebody else's shoulders to the mat for once. And maybe, I don't know, somebody can take my title off me cleanly for once. I mean, if you can keep your greasy paws out of the main event for 5
here
seconds.
we go. It's the same bitch and complaint with you. What kind of company do you think this is? Like, it's not for the weak at heart. And if you can't cut it, then leave again. You can slaughter, you can walk out the door, I don't care.
I would, but it would pain me to see Code Red actually top BCW's ratings for a week, so I'm going to have to stay put, with all due respect there, Benzie.
Listen, I'm not asking you to win with a spine buster, alright? I'm just saying, if you're not happy here with what happened,
maybe you should just land the
leave.
super kick.
Alright?
Let's try to get back on topic here. What other topics do we have on queue for today that we haven't gotten to?
Our opinions on disarray. Like you already said.
I think that's pretty much covered. And I hope you guys can keep those opinions up, because when he comes in here and kicks both your asses, then you can look back on this podcast and remember talking shit.
Well, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that, you know, being the reigning, defending Lord of Anarchy champion, it was my idea to start defending the belt of belts, I should say, in last man standing matches. And I think for you to go behind my back to change the rules, I don't like it, but I do respect it. Because that's going to put everybody else up on their game. Whether it be a first blood match, ladder matches, submission matches,
You wouldn't be able to hang.
bra and panty matches, which I'm pretty sure I can win hands down easily. It doesn't matter what type of stipulation you make, because when the dust clears and the ground settles...
I'm just counting all the metaphors you're stringing together. Go ahead.
You're going to find out why I am the greatest Lord of Anarchy heavyweight champion that this company has ever seen, why I am the Morgan Freeman of professional wrestling, and why I am best in the biz-oddness.
Oh, I already know why.
3 syllables.
I already know exactly why you're the best in the business. It must be easy to hold the greatest strap in a company whenever you're banging the boss.
First off, I was the greatest champion in BCW history way before this ever happened. What's your excuse?
What, for being the best in the business?
You're not the best in the business. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You are the best in the business. You are the best bitch in the business.
True.
The biggest fucking crybaby I have ever fucking seen.
True.
The world's against me. I never lose clean.
Vince actually calls me out for being a shitty wrestler.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Vince get in the ring and put her money where her mouth is. I'd like to see, I'm just throwing this out there, Vince put some real money out for once and maybe like a body slam challenge or an arm wrestling competition. I mean, after all, when you're the boss and you're the owner, you should probably know how to draw a crowd. I mean, not that anybody else besides myself on this roster knows how to do that. I mean, you guys wouldn't know charisma if it fell from the skies and hit the top turnbuckle. Owen Hart.
Well, I just want to address one thing. All of this is Vince's money. And I don't appreciate you implying that I'm cheap or not fully invested in this company. What do you think makes this company go around besides the hard work of a real champion?
Apparently,
that would be my checkbook. That's also where you get your money from.
You have the financial standpoints of Seth Rogen, and you expect us to go as hard as we do? As hard as we do. For what? How much do you get paid?
I probably most likely get paid more than you.
Because you're worth more than him.
I get paid probably more than the whole BCW roster combined.
Mhm.
You know,
well, I'm not going to throw out an exact figure, but yes, that is 1,000% correct.
It's 6 figures, by the way.
I'm about
At least.
sick and tired of this Vince-tatorship, alright? So,
Just because it's
if
not
there's nothing else to talk about here tonight, I think I need to go address some,
Is there a sale at Hot Topic right now that you just have to get to?
No, it's the Hawthorne Heights concerts tonight.
Oh! You don't want to miss that.
Before you leave, let me just leave you on this note. When it's all said and done, you could start worshiping me now.
see you on Easter. And, you guys can, start the scavenger hunt, because I've risen. Get it?
There he goes again, making everything about him.